Happy Sunday morning, everybody. You know the feeling of waking up Sunday morning, relaxed, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to work. Maybe you go to church if that's your thing. But you don't have to go to work, most people at least, if you work a normal 9 to 5. You know, that feeling is what I'm striving for every day, right? So I just want to wake up every day and do as I please. You know, make my money as I please, do the things I want, hang out with my wife, go places, go out to eat, go see new things, right? I don't want to be strapped to, oh, well, we can do that Friday night, or maybe we can do it Saturday, and then things get in the way all the time and you don't end up doing the things that you want to do, right? So that's another reason why I want to retire right there. So let's recap a little bit and go back to what we talked about in my last video. So in my last video, I tell you guys that I had quit my job as a sheet metal worker and I went to deliver furniture with a friend of mine as just a helper. So I was making about $140 a day, which is not a lot of money. So I took a drastic pay cut. So this was in March of 2020. And at that time, my wife was laid off from work too because of COVID. So I kept on working. I guess I was essential. And she was making the COVID pay. So it was almost as if she just was making the same money but didn't have to go to work. So that was pretty nice. So now we know in 2020 what happened. COVID came around and the economy just burst into flames, basically, right? Everything just got way more expensive. You couldn't find things. I mean, people were just buying toilet paper like it didn't exist anymore, right? So around that time, too, living expenses were just going through the roof. So without being super careful and with the fact that I wasn't making as much money anymore, I started to have to dig into that money that I got from my 401k. So when I cashed out my 401k, I ended up with $38,000. So at the time, 2019, 2018, watching all this real estate, I was like, I'm certain with 35 grand, I can find my way in and buy a property and borrow the rest to fix it, do whatever it is, right? I was like, I know this is enough money. I can do this, right? COVID kind of changed those plans. I had to use the money. It started getting to a point where I was like, man, I don't think this is enough anymore. It's really starting to feel like I took this money out and I'm not even going to be able to do what I wanted to do. The whole point was to buy real estate and kind of expedite my whole process to retirement, right? It was supposed to be 2020. I got an investment property now. So now's my time, my first one, right? So that didn't really happen. Now we're getting towards the end of the year now. We're in probably the third quarter of the year. And I'm like, this isn't happening. So I'm not going to go the rest of this time knowing that I just wasted all that money and I have nothing to show for it. So around that time, I think I was just trying to sell off everything so I could gather up enough money. So I think I had a car at the time I posted for sale on Facebook. And I posted it saying that I was looking to buy something else or whatever the deal may be. And a friend of mine commented on the post and he said, I have an idea. How about you buy my Photobooth business and you can go and buy whatever you want now? And I kind of just commented on it and I laughed. I was like, haha, that'd be cool. I was like, and he said, no, I'm serious. If you're interested, let me know. And I messaged him back and I was like, I hadn't really thought of that before. I probably don't have enough money to buy it. I don't know what it entails. I know nothing about it really. So we got in touch and he ended up giving me a great deal, right? It was kind of another offer I couldn't refuse, right? So he says, I'll sell you my whole photo booth, everything I have, my whole business. Granted, he was down in Florida running it, so I didn't really get his clientele up here in Connecticut. But I did get everything else that came with it. So I got the photo booth, which I can show you guys at some point. It's an open air photo booth. It's called TK Photo Booth, right? That's what we rebranded it as, Tom and Kaylee Photo Booth. It was originally TCK Photo Booth down in Florida. But anyways, I ended up buying the photo booth, the backdrops, everything that came along with it, his website, and I just had to kind of rebrand for $7,000. So I was like, wow, all right, I have to do this. I remember at the time talking to Kaylee, and I'm like, look, I know this seems weird, but let's buy a photo booth, right? And she's like, what are you talking about? So that was one thing that I did at the end of 2020 that I think was probably one of the best things I could have done, because the money that I paid for, I was able to recoup very quickly, and it ended up being a really good thing for me. So to end this video, we'll just say I ended up getting my money in 2020 that I thought was going to go towards an investment property, and it didn't. So I ended up dwindling some of it away on living expenses. I was a little upset about it, and I still ended up doing something good with the money. It wasn't as much money as I wished I had left at the end of the year, but I was able to do something with it that was a solid investment. And any of you guys that know me know that it was a solid investment because you hear me talk about it all the time. So, and just last night I did an event. It was a holiday party for a company that makes monuments. So it was a great investment. So again, thanks guys for watching. I know my story might sound a little erratic. I'm still just kind of really getting used to putting my face out here and just talking to the camera, talking to you guys really. And so don't worry, my talking skills are going to get ironed out as this goes on. So again, I appreciate you guys for sitting back and watching the whole thing and listening and just enjoying my story. Hopefully you get some type of insight out of it, and enjoy the rest of your day.